What's going on, guys? So we are at Cecil County Dragway. It's a Friday night. It's really nice out. Got the Freedom Rocket in the trailer, and the goal today is going to basically be to run the fastest pass I have yet. And I think it's pretty doable. The weather's perfect. As long as we got good track prep, we ought to be able to do it. Alrighty, guys, so we just got something to eat. I'm gonna go tech in, and once we tech in, I'll make my first pass. I was just gonna kind of wait till it gets a little bit cooler, and it's actually really nice right now. So we may run some pretty quick passes tonight as long as we got good track prep. And before we start her up, I just wanted to remind you guys, we got the new Freedom key tags online right now, GuitarMageddonZL1.com/store. So get your Freedom key tags. Well, the wind might be a little bit bad, but you can hear me. I just got teched in, and we're going to go make the first pass. It's pretty cool, too. I got my inner chiller working really well. It's down to like 50-some degrees in the IAT, so that's really good. So hopefully this will be good.
Guys, before we start the racing, I'm going to do sort of like explanation and play-by-play because I didn't really record anything other than my passes at the drag strip, and I figured I'd give you guys some insight on what's going on. Kind of like a little commentary over top of it, just to kind of, you know, make things a little bit different for you. So after I do my burnout, I kind of roll forward and then stop, and I want to basically purge my nitrous lines. And the easiest way to find out if your lines are purged, you'll be able to see nitrous coming out of the line like that. Now, we had a little bit of an issue with the nitrous last time we were at Camaro Fest because I didn't purge the lines enough. So I made sure this time that I purged the line a little bit more than last. We saw the nitrous come out and it seemed pretty good, so we made the pass. So as you can see from that pass, almost all the way through first gear, it didn't spray again, and it picked up right before I shifted into second gear. So I went back after I made my pass, and I was kind of like confused as to why this was still happening. And honestly, the only thing I can think of right now is that I'm just not purging the lines enough. It only happens on a new bottle too, I forgot to mention that. But like, it only happens on a brand new bottle. I guess from now on, I'm just gonna have to literally, once I see the nitrous come out, like hold it for another like 3 seconds, just so I know for sure that that line's purged. Because once we make a pass and once it starts spraying, it's fine. Like the car is fine after that. You really don't have to purge unless, of course, your pressure is a little too high and you want to bring it down or whatever. So either way, no big deal, because we went out there and made a second pass. So wait a little bit longer for it to cool down. So it's going to be a little bit darker this time.
baby. That was some America right there. Holy sh! Oh yeah, baby.
So there it was, my fastest pass ever in this car, in 9.26 at 149 miles an hour. I have the time slip right here. I actually have the other one for the next run that you're gonna see here in a few minutes. But this is the fastest time. Here's the time slip. I'm gonna read it for you guys. Obviously reaction time was, slow because that's not what I'm working on. I'm not working on reaction time. I'm not racing against anybody or anything like that. I was just trying to get my best time. So I was really trying to get that launch perfect. So I did a 142 60 foot, which is not bad. Like I said, I'd like to see this car in the 1.3s, and I'll definitely be trying to do that before the end of the year. But I got my best 330, which is a 3.93, and then my best 8th mile, which was a 5.9 at 119, almost 120 miles an hour. So there was actually a headwind coming toward me. So if anything, it lost a few miles an hour up top. But yeah, still really impressive for the summertime, 1, and 2. We're still running the 150 shot that we were running last time at Camaro Fest. It's also a cool thing to see how my fastest pass at Camaro Fest with the exact same setup, everything like that, was a 9.41 at 145. And then I go to Cecil County on a cooler day, not as humid, and it runs a 9.26 at 149. If we go to even cooler weather, we drop 2 more tenths. That's an 8-second pass with the current setup, and we haven't even really sprayed the full shot that can be on this car. We can spray a 300 shot on this car, and that's essentially twice the shot. I like the fact that I'm kind of chopping it down right now, improving my times on a more mild setup, or I shouldn't say mild setup, I should say like not full kill mode setup. I really like that because it helps me, learn the car really, and how it kind of gets off the line and just everything like that. If I can get this car down to an 8-second car with just with just the 150 shot on it, I mean, that'd be awesome. And the car's really only putting down, I'd say, somewhere around the neighborhood of 900 wheel horsepower with the 150 shot, and that's because of the stall converter on my trans. So like that thing eats up a lot of power. But once we do the 300 shot, it'll be back over over 1,000 horsepower. So I'm definitely very happy with that. Now a quick thing to mention here too is it only beat my fastest pass before that by 0.02 of a second. I didn't tell you this, but before I installed the new transmission and we went to the track, I said I made a nitrous pass, but I didn't say what the time was, and everybody was kind of mad and salty about that. But we made a nitrous pass, a 300 shot nitrous pass with really low bottle pressure, and it ended up running a 9.28 at 152. So I didn't show that pass. I still do have the time slip, but this is still the fastest, I should say the fastest elapsed time. I'm happy I got into the 5s and the 8th. That was a goal. If we can chop that down another 10th, maybe a 5.8, and get the 60 foot down to a 1.3, that's definitely an 8-second pass, I would say, no, without a doubt. It's already going to be an 8-second pass, I'd say, right now, if we would turn the shot up. But like I said, we're going to try to do this, see if we can do it on the setup right now. So anyways, enough talking about that pass. I'm just kind of really excited because, I'm getting there, I'm chopping it down, and I'm really happy that I'm improving in all this and just learning about it. So here's the third pass. Because my chute's dragging behind me, so I literally just throw it in the trunk, just close the trunk because I don't want to drag it the whole way because it'll just tear some of it up. So
That's why I get out at the end of the track every time.
Now, that one wasn't as good, still great. I mean, still great pass. It was a 9.31 at 148, almost 149 miles an hour again. So very consistent in the trap speed. The elapsed time is very similar too. It's within less than 1/10 of a second of itself. Still had a 1.44 60 foot, a 3.9 330. We had a 6.0 eighth mile though. Same mile per hour there, 119. So like I said, the car is very consistent. Another thing that helps this car be very consistent is the inner chiller in the car. I know if you watch Andrew's videos, Complete Street Performance, that's essentially all he talks about on the build is like the inner chiller and how awesome it is. But it actually really is. Like, I'm very happy with that. It keeps the IATs down. You have to run your car, let the coolant cycle through, let it cool down. And when you go up to the starting line, you can literally start with the same IATs every single time. You have the consistent performance really from it. So every time I raced, every time I started my race, I should say every time before my burnout, the car was in the 50s, mid 50s with the IATs. Once I did my burnout, it kind of went up to like, I think maybe high 60s, maybe 70 degrees. And most of you guys are starting it out. I mean, if you don't have an ice box, if you just have a regular heat exchanger, you're starting out at like 100 IAT, 100 degrees. And I'm like 100 degrees, like halfway down the track. So if you're already starting with a hot, you know, you're heat soaked already, your run is not going to be as quick. It's nice to have that consistent performance always there, so that's not really even a factor when you're racing. That way you can basically just concentrate on yourself. So I'm really happy with the passes I made in the car, especially during summer. Literally, it's the middle of July, and I was able to go down there on a Friday night and with decent weather and make those passes. I haven't done this in a while, but I want to give a big shout out to NITROUS Outlet, as well as Late Model Engines, Forced Induction to Inner Chiller as well. All those companies had a huge influence on the build. Obviously, Complete Street Performance, the shop that built it and tuned it. Big shout out to them always. You know, they do a great job at everything and take good care of me in the car. It's in very good hands with them. Definitely check them out if you guys are in the market for anything. So now that we've reached the end of the video, this is the moment some of you guys have been waiting for. I posted a photo of the Freedom Rocket earlier today, and I basically did a little contest to see who could come closest to guessing the fastest ET that I ran, ET and mile an hour. And a lot of you guys got pretty close. Some of you guys got the exact elapsed time. Some of you guys got the exact mile per hour. But the closest guy was only 0.03 of a second away from the actual time that I ran, which was a 9.26 at 149. And he guessed a 9.23 at 149. And that guy is James Dinnan. So congratulations, James. You are going to be getting a Freedom key tag that was seen earlier in this video, shipped right to your door. So I'll be contacting you through Instagram. So definitely check your inbox. Thanks again to all you guys for participating. A lot of you guys are really close. Like I said, some of you guys had the exact mile an hour, some of you guys had the exact ET, but he was the closest in my mind that I thought. I mean, if he would have said 9.2 at 149, I'd have picked him either way. He said 9.23, but dang, like 0.03 of a second away, that's pretty good. Definitely follow my Instagram if you haven't already done that. I do contests like this all the time, giving away free stuff like that. So definitely check that out. I always have all that info below for you guys in the description. Stay tuned for the next video. I'm gonna be taking the Twin Turbo ZL1 to CSP. We're gonna turn the boost up and we're gonna have some fun with the car. So if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and have a great day.